Assalamu alaikum, friends. Welcome to the Zero Excitements channel. Adulthood markets weekends as if they are a grand reward for surviving the week, as if after 5 straight days of alarms, deadlines, fake smiles, unpaid emotional labor, unnecessary meetings, and pretending to be productive, life will finally hand you 2 perfect days where everything slows down, energy magically returns, and you suddenly feel alive again. The biggest scam of adulthood is discovering that weekends were never designed for happiness because they are designed for recovery, repair, and preparation to suffer again. Friday arrives with hope, and by Friday evening you genuinely believe this weekend will finally be different because you tell yourself that this time you will sleep properly, wake up early, enjoy life, go outside, fix your routine, catch up on your dreams, and feel like a functioning human being again. Friday night then disappears without warning, because instead of rest, you end up scrolling on your phone for hours, consuming content that drains you, watching people live exciting lives while you slowly lose energy, until your eyes burn, your body shuts down, and sleep happens accidentally rather than intentionally. Saturday morning does not feel refreshing, because your body wakes up tired, your mind feels foggy, and your soul feels slightly disappointed that rest did not work the way it was advertised. You check the time and realize that half the day is already gone, and instead of excitement, you feel pressure, because now you have less time to enjoy a day that was supposed to feel free. This is the moment when adulthood reveals the truth that weekends are not about enjoyment. They are about damage control. Saturday becomes a long to-do list disguised as freedom, because groceries need to be bought, laundry needs to be done, cleaning needs to happen, bills need attention, and your room quietly reminds you that no one else is coming to save you from responsibility. Family obligations appear, because adulthood does not allow disappearing without consequences, and social plans resurface, because canceling feels rude even when you are exhausted. Every task feels heavier on the weekend because your brain knows you are doing unpaid labor just to maintain a life you barely have energy to live. You keep telling yourself that you will relax later, but later never comes because rest now requires planning, preparation, and mental permission that you no longer have. Even when you sit down, your mind does not slow down because it has been trained to stay alert, anxious, and future-focused. If you decide to go out, the cost appears immediately in traffic, crowds, noise, expenses, and the uncomfortable realization that you are too tired to enjoy the very thing you left your house for. You sit there pretending you are present, smiling at the right moments, laughing when expected, while secretly calculating how soon you can leave without seeming rude or ungrateful. Saturday evening arrives faster than expected, and instead of peace, you feel anxiety creeping in quietly, because you suddenly remember that tomorrow is Sunday. Sunday does not feel like a holiday, because Sunday feels like a warning. Sunday morning does not feel calm, because your body may still be home, but your mind has already started walking back toward Monday.
You try to enjoy small things like tea, breakfast, or silence, but the thought of alarms, emails, responsibilities, and unfinished work keeps interrupting every peaceful moment. Sunday afternoon feels heavy even when nothing is happening because time starts feeling expensive. Every hour that passes feels like something is being taken away from you. By Sunday evening, the most painful part of the scam activates, which is the pre-Monday dread, where your chest feels tight, your mood drops, and you realize that you spent your entire weekend preparing to return to the same routine that exhausted you in the first place. Weekends promised rest, but they delivered survival. Nobody warned us that adulthood would turn free time into a limited resource that must be protected, scheduled, and defended. Rest no longer happens naturally because rest now feels strategic. Sleeping feels guilty, waking up late feels wasteful, and doing nothing feels wrong. Even enjoyment now needs justification. You cannot just relax because your mind keeps reminding you of everything you should be doing instead. The funny part is that everyone pretends this is normal. We all participate in this shared illusion. We ask each other how the weekend was, already knowing the answer will be too short. We laugh about it like it is a harmless joke instead of admitting it is a quiet tragedy. Admitting that weekends no longer work would mean admitting that the system was never designed for full recovery. Weekends are not breaks, they are buffers. They give you just enough rest to keep you functional, but never enough to make you fulfilled. That is why adulthood feels like living on low battery all the time. Energy is constantly drained faster than it can be restored. Rest has been compressed into 2 days that are already overcrowded with obligations, expectations, and emotional catch up. As children, we hated weekends ending because school was boring. As adults, we hate weekends ending because life is demanding. The excitement that once existed around free time has been replaced with efficiency anxiety, where even leisure feels like something you should be optimizing. Social media makes this scam worse by showing carefully curated weekends filled with trips, brunches, productivity routines, sunsets, and happiness, while you are at home debating whether you have enough energy to shower. Slowly, you realize that the real scam is not that weekends are short. The real scam is that adulthood convinces you that weekends are the reward. In reality, weekends are just the minimum required to keep you going. They are not designed for joy, they are designed for reset. They function like rebooting a system that overheats every week. Despite understanding all of this, every Friday you still feel hope. You still believe that maybe this weekend will finally feel different. That small hope is what keeps the scam alive. If weekends completely failed, people would stop believing in them. Instead, they almost work, just enough to make Monday survivable. That is the biggest scam of adulthood. Welcome to Zero Excitements, where we do not exaggerate pain, we simply explain why it exists, and somehow that honesty makes it funny. Like, subscribe, and we'll meet again in the next episode of Zero Excitements, where we'll make even more boring parts of life so interesting that you'll feel entertained while being bored. Allah Hafiz.